to drop Fall into Poison. I wasn't going to stream it because I was just going to get some bad endings myself. When I went to start the game, I swear this is different. It says tonight's concert is taking place at 7 p.m. at the Manton Live Music Club, Kagero. The indie band Black Rising Crows, being promoted by Koro, the bassist from the major label band Isaiah. I'm probably wrecking these names, but I'm trying, is on the schedule for tonight and a popular topic of conversation. It's not that I'm not interested, but rather than hype, I prefer substance, and anyway my aim tonight isn't the concert. In contrast to the dazzling fashion buildings, this live music club is in a back alley with an underground feel to it. It was not long after I was born that one might say Manton really began to be developed. In sync with improvements to it, the station itself became an unquestionable hub for the subway and national railways, and Manton Station was quickly reborn as a terminal stop. The symbol of the town, Manton East Building, was built in the center of the business district and became an entertainment hub for students, adults, and tourists alike. The stronger the light, the deeper the darkness. Unlike the east side, bustling with visitors from a wide age range, the west side developed as more of a pleasure district. There are various bars and other businesses focusing on nighttime entertainment. Does that mean nudie bars? Although cases of illegal immigrants coming to do manual labor have increased, their higher-ups remain concealed within this forest of people. Their gang-like unions have strengthened their pull, forging something of an unspoken agreement with the police. Inevitably, the public order has deteriorated, and this town has become dense with both light and dark. It is within the basement of a building in a back alley, in the darkest or deepest part of this pleasure quarter, beyond the west exit, that the live music club Kagero lies. A girl walking alone at this hour runs the risk of being hit on, but with strict rules being enforced these days, almost anyone who learns that the person they're talking to is a student would back off. Anyone looking for an easy target is just spineless. Occasionally, there are those who won't give up, the perverted, creepy types who are thrilled that I'm a junior high student. There's no merit in talking to them, so I ignore them. Well, to be honest, the others are just as worthless. Especially considering I didn't come here to pick up guys in the first place. As far as the den signs of this back alley are concerned, they seem to have learned to recognize my face, and so conversation attempts have decreased. Ignoring people is quite draining, so I am grateful from the depths of my heart. Huh. Weird. So, yes, if you add this to the cost of the drinks, it should be exactly 3,000 each. Yeah, but you're a junior high student, right? Sorry, but after 6 p.m., people under 16 must be a newbie. I click my tongue and look at the staff number. I have no recollection of seeing him before. There's a large amount of turnover among live music club staff, but still, these kinds of exchanges are troublesome. She's not dead. I've paid my money, so I hand over my ticket. This place has never been a stickler for rules. They give minors alcohol and cigarettes all the time. I'm not here for either. I'm just here to listen. If you don't hurry, I'll report this place. I got it. Here, this is it. He falters as I quickly talk him down and hand over my ticket, without incident. It's not as if someone like me would make a report, but saying so is more than enough to get him to cave. He probably feels the same, seeing me as troublesome and wanting to end the conversation as quickly as possible, which leads to him being careless. Stinks of cigarettes. Yeah, cigarettes don't smell nice. I come here often, even though I hate the stench of tobacco. Lately, many places have separate non-smoking areas, but this Keguro place has an old-fashioned mentality, so the inside is filled with smoke. I remember you used to be allowed to smoke in restaurants and stuff. Not too long ago either. I often hear that it's good to be retro, but most of the ones saying this are people over 30. These days, non-smokers have come to hate the secondhand smoke. That's me. I'm the non-smoker. Like, that hates secondhand smoke. People smoke near me, I trigger. Since there is a show tonight, the club is packed. The eyes of customers anxiously awaiting the stars of the show are gleaming. I weave through the crowd, most of whom aren't paying attention to their surroundings, and reach the drink counter. Club soda in a bottle. Microwaves. It's not too much alcohol though. I take my drink from the bartender. Usually this would be mixed with alcohol, but I like to drink it with a little lemon, so I drop a slice in. The faint, refreshing scent of citrus tickles as it mixes with the stench of tobacco in my nose. This is a good spot. I lean against the pillar near the bar and touch the bottle to my lips, sipping the carbonated water. The tingling sensation it gives hits the spot. I finally feel relaxed. I probably stand out amongst all of these other high-strung customers, but I'm not really paying them much attention. The reason I came here is to gather information on rumors regarding Manton Aquarium. Surely any junior high school girl in the metropolitan area has heard these stories. Like that on the day of a full moon, the water in the tank turns to blood, or that fish with human faces swim about, or that those who get lost in the closed-down deep-sea fish booth never come home. Worthless stories written on the internet. But I can't simply dismiss these stories as meaningless. A murder that took place at Manton Aquarium. Of the many rumors, it's that story in particular that gives me a sense that something is amiss in the real world. The reason why is because the director of Manton Aquarium, my father, Sakaguri Kaiso, died at Manton Aquarium. Yes, I know, the police records list his death as accidental. In reality, his death is a suspicious one, with its cause unknown. There's only one way his body could have ended up torn to pieces in a tank at the aquarium. It's been about 5 years since then, so I was about 10 at the time. Despite how young I was, I didn't believe it was an accident. But with nothing to go on, I had to let it go. However, lately, I've begun hearing these strange rumors. When the rumors started, it was strange that there was no origin to them. It began my search for a source about 2 months ago by hanging around here after hearing that someone from the club, Keguro, worked part-time at the aquarium 5 years ago. But nothing's come of it so far. If my efforts are fruitless this time at night, when there should be the most people here, then I've resolved myself to changing the location of my investigation. Oh, this is a surprise. Someone speaks to me in Kansai dialect, coming off as overly familiar because of it. She doesn't speak extremely fast, so she's probably from the Kyoto area or somewhere around there. It sounds more elegant than the Osaka dialect. Looking at the source of the voice, I'm a bit surprised it's a girl younger than I. I thought she might be a female otaku with no one to talk to, but really she seems quite intriguing. That being said, she seems to be looking my way with an odd expression. What? You're creeping me out. Don't say that. I'm Minato Miku. Nice to meet ya. I like the color of your eyes. She's not the one I'm looking for. That person has worked part-time 5 years ago, so it couldn't have been this kid. Can't be employed until your first year of high school. Minato wears an outfit covered in frills that seems difficult to move in. She dressed like my polar opposite. Her outfit is girly, with white as its base color. There's an 80 to 90% chance that someone dressed like that sees herself as cute. She's probably about 10 centimeters shorter than I am. Only upon sitting in one of the high counter's chairs is she brought to my eye level. Hey, Sakaguri-san, right? Minato greets me by my last name. In that moment, I become even more wary of her. I haven't told her my name. I don't like giving my name to people I don't know, so not even the staff or customers here know it. I glare warily at Minato. Don't make such a scary face. Don't you recognize me? Is that why you're looking at me like that? Of course not. We're from the same school. You're from Class B at Mitsuba Girls Junior High, right? I'm in Class A. We're next to each other. Huh? Mitsuba Girls Junior High is the abbreviated version of Private Girls Academy Mitsuba Junior High, or a long name. Known throughout the city as a school for rich girls, it is part of a combined junior and high school, just as Minato says. I am a student there. Since I haven't made any friends, I don't know any of my classmates. Even though it may be uncommon that some of those classmates are people who like bands enough to come to a live music club, it's not abnormal. More than that, the fact that Minato is a classmate, is the same age, surprises me. From her feet to her head, I look over Minato once more, to be sure her outfit is unique and brand new, and her fluffy blonde hair shows scrupulous grooming. Putting aside her annoying appearance, there are definitely many girls at Mitsuba like her. Still, she's so small I can't see her as anything but an elementary school student. Do you doubt me? I want to nod my head, but there's no malicious intent in her having learned my name. I can't see any point in her lying to me, so she must be telling the truth. So what do you want? I don't want anything. I was just happy seeing a classmate at this hour, in a place like this, and wanted to talk to you. I see. Sorry, but I don't feel like chatting with you right now. So harsh. Sayo-chan, you're like that at school too, right? You're never with anyone. So, it's no problem if I don't have friends. More importantly, drop the chan. You're the same as me, eh? Huh? What kind of band are you here for, Sayo-chan? Without going too deep, Minato changes the subject. She continues using chan, and since I'm already struggling with her Kyoto dialect, there's a pushiness to her quiet demeanor that's hard to describe, coupled with her tendency to do things her way. It's troublesome. As I remain silent, Minato puts her lips on the straw in her strawberry milk and looks at me with upturned eyes. I'm not after one particular band. If the songs are good and the band is good, I'll listen, but I don't follow any of them. The fact that she doesn't look away until I answer is a bit frightening. I have no choice but to speak. While I do have my preferences, I'm not following one specific band. It's just a matter of those bands that I hear and consider good. Whenever I go to the live music clubs, it's usually popular bands that aren't very good. I can't stand the ones who just rely on looking good, having a good MC, or acting stupid instead of having real substance. They're obnoxious. There's no point in declaring your success based on anything other than your music. That's why I dislike these visionless fools at live music clubs, getting their egos inflated by morons and prattling on about their dreams. Wow, you're harsh, lady. I dislike the morons who gracefully listen to those fools talking about their dreams even more. Well then, I have a band to recommend. You should give a listen to the one scheduled to go on right before the main act. No. Then why did you come here? If you're just here for a certain band and laugh, I understand. But if you're just vacantly listening, then you should stay till the end, so you can learn which bands are good. In reality, I was planning to stay here until the end of the performance to see if anyone stood out to me. But I think I can be forgiven for not wanting to spend extra time with Minato. From the looks of it, you and I don't share the same interests. That's fine, it was worth a try. I finally confirmed that despite what I say, Minato isn't listening at all. In contrast with her appearance, she's more stubborn than I thought. Since moving from here would come off as running away and might offend her, I stay put. Whether she's satisfied or not, she sits down softly. I thought she would talk to me about many things, but she doesn't speak any further. She seemed gloomy, giving the feeling that she was disappointed. Saya-chan! They were good, weren't they? So-so. After the show, we head back to the station. I didn't really want to talk with her, but trying to convince her not to follow me is too much effort. The nightscape is terribly bright. No way, they had amazing rhythm. Silky Strawberry. Since Minato recommended them, I thought it would be a goth rock band or something, but they were actually classic rock group. The guitarist and vocalist in particular were the best I saw today. The main act, Aizayo, wasn't bad. It was just a major difference in their level of skill. Because of that, I sort of feel that it wouldn't be so bad if they were here the next time I came. Those lyrics though, I can't get into them. Everything else is good though. Are you really sticking with no good and bad, and they suck, for your impressions of the other bands though? Minato is more knowledgeable about music than I expected, telling me her impressions during breaks in the performances. The only thing she takes away from my comments are those 3 thoughts. There's no value to what I said, so it's understandable. Whenever there's a break in conversation, I realize that Silky Strawberry has come up every time. Thinking back on it, the most unusual thing is that Minato and I don't talk about anything but music. It's more mysterious than suspicious. Nice meme. Miracle Man. Speaking of which, I don't particularly initiate most of the conversation. Instead, I'm sulking over my inability to gain any information about Manton Aquarium. So I guess this gives us like backstory about Sayo. My silence probably persists for 5 minutes. Minato is a slow walker, and I thought about leaving her behind, but even I don't know why I didn't. 'Cause that'd be really mean, Sayo. The one to break the silence, though, quite suddenly, is Minato. You know, I experienced something weird today. I don't respond, continuing to ignore her, but she continues her story anyway. So it could be Manton Aquarium. You ever hear of Manton Aquarium? I have. Before the event tonight, I used a year pass and went there, but year pass is the abbreviation for year-long passport. Please, do we need to know this? It's a ticket that allows you to enter as many times as you want, at 5,500 yen, tax included. You can get one after going to the aquarium 3 times in 1 year. Furthermore, 5 years ago they started selling a pass case set with an illustration and a photography kit. It's a premium version sold at 10,000 yen before tax. It's fairly expensive, but the illustrator is popular with apparel companies, and the design containing all the fish is popular with young women, giving such goods a great deal of value. As additional perks to getting the premium version, you get the ability to visit the Mantum East Building observation deck as much as you please, as well as a 5% discount at some of the restaurants within the building. Why is this information necessary? With so many perks, the year pass has become quite a hit. It was the idea of a Manton Aquarium staff member, but rumor says that they've since left the company. It's not unthinkable that it has some relation to the director, my father's incident. With that in mind, I wait for the rest of Minato's story. That deep-sea fish booth was supposedly closed long ago, right? But I was able to go in. Moreover, there were fish inside. That's not all. The fish were swimming outside of the tanks. Oh. Huh? Are you stupid? The deep-sea fish booth is closed, like you said, so there shouldn't be any fish. Which is why I said it was weird from the get-go. I thought I was daydreaming. I got caught up in that feeling and even spaced out for a bit, so I don't remember everything from that time clearly. Minato is saying something strange. It's frustrating, but that's exactly why I can't ignore it. The story Minato is telling me is part of those ridiculous urban legends I'm investigating. Who did you hear this story from? I didn't. It happened today, but I didn't have anyone I thought I could tell. Really? Sometimes there are people who like spreading those kinds of rumors. I told ya, I don't have anyone to talk to about that kind of stuff. In other words, Minato isn't the person I'm looking for. The one who spread the rumors about Manton Aquarium. Well, she just said she saw something weird. Just go to Manton Aquarium yourself, lady. On the other hand, Minato's observations are in fact giving the rumors some credibility. There we go. You're serious? I guess it's natural that you would doubt me. After all, it's such a weird story, so I can forgive you for that. I find it weird myself, but I thought you might believe me, Seo-chan. It's not that I believe you, but it isn't that I don't either. After I say this, the conversation ends. We walk on without a word, and although the distance to the station is short, it seems as if we go on forever. Well, time to go home. I'm going this way. Seems Minato's going the other way. I hope you're not, like you don't die, lady. As we're about to part, I call after Minato. Ever since she told me about the bizarre thing that happened to her today, I've been wondering what I should do, and I decide I should choose the most efficient option. Are you free tomorrow night? Yeah, why? About the deep sea fish booth. You say you went to. I can't believe you if I don't see it with my own eyes. If you really did see it, then take me there. So you mean we'll go to Manton Aquarium together? We're not going to have fun, we're going to do research. I'll be waiting at the office shop at Manton Station at 5. Ocean cruising, right? Okay, I'll go along. For some reason, Minato looks happy. Even though I've asked her to be my guide, she probably isn't inconvenienced by it. And so that's how I parted with Minato. And I gaze out the window of the train, I suddenly remember that, oh yes, tonight is the night of a full moon. So I wonder, I don't know, I guess we'll find out. The next day I enter the coffee shop at 5 p.m. I come right on time, but there's no sign of Minato. Since I don't participate in any clubs, I still arrive in plenty of time even after stopping off at my house. I take a seat by the window and order a club soda. The new sandwich posted by the door looks delicious, but I'm not hungry. I don't order one. I wait for her for about 5 minutes. Sorry I kept you waiting. Took a little while to get changed. Thought that might be the case. I anticipated this by changing before coming. Be that as it may, in an area as heavily patrolled as Manton, it's easier to move about in regular clothes than in school uniforms. Still, with Minato looking like an elementary schooler, I have my doubt as to how effective this will be. Ah, wait a sec. As soon as Minato arrives and puts her bag down, she stands back up right away. Some time passes before she returns, having bought a sandwich and iced cafe au latte. I haven't eaten yet. Can we get a bite? You're asking me after you already bought it. Are you sober? Time to eat. I feel irritated, but Minato's cooperation in my investigation of Manton Aquarium is essential. You didn't say itadakimasu. As Minato eats her sandwich, I drink my club soda little by little, slowly. It's the roast beef and mascarpone cheese sandwich that caught my interest earlier. The thick, acidic scent that wafts my way is without a doubt a dressing with balsamic vinegar as its main ingredient. I don't know, I like this game, but I just find it so weird that it just has these random, unneeded details. The seemingly homemade roast beef doesn't seem to have many slices, but each one is thick. The cooked parts and the tinge of redness seem to create a good balance. Seo-chan, what's up? Nothing. Ah, you want a bite? Ah, you want a bite? Say ah. Okay, that's weird. Are you stupid? Oh, you don't? This is my first time eating with a friend, so I'm not good at reading the situation. Aw, that's nice. Well, sad. I'm not so good at this kind of thing myself. Still, don't just call me your friend. Aw, come on. To be sure, her observation was correct, but I don't exactly want her to share her sandwich with me. If I'm going to have some, I'll buy my own. Minato eats the rest self-consciously. There's not really much conversation, only when she's finished drinking her iced cafe a lot does she suggest let's go. That was delicious, but I'm full. Probably ate too much. What, you knew you weren't going to finish it earlier? If I had known, I would have accepted your offer. So it wasn't that you didn't want it? I have my reasons. Well then, let's try sharing next time. I wonder if there will be a next time. The rumors of Manton Aquarium, as well as the truth, all of it might be revealed today. There is no next time. 2 hours later, our efforts prove fruitless as we stand stock still at the entrance. With no results, the air between us is gloomy. How weird, yesterday when I was walking, the door was wide open. I see. Do you hate me? Not in particular, although I didn't like you to begin with. Why does this discussion of whether or not I like her keep coming up? What's most important right now is ascertaining the truth of the rumors. Minato doesn't appear to be lying, in which case the mystery of the deep-sea fish booth deepens further. Well, you did say it was a full moon, you know. Go back on a full moon. What was the difference between yesterday and today? We have no choice but to look back inductively. I wonder if it was because we were together, so we tried one at a time, but nothing changed. So what else? Minato appears to be in thought, but finally a troubled look appears on her face, and she answers with a tone of supplication. The difference? I don't know why. Well, tell me again from the start. From the beginning, huh? I came to have a fun day at the seemingly normal Manton Aquarium. Some guy called out to me. Speaking of which, I heard him talking about Manton Aquarium's urban legends. Oh, is this the Kenji guy? So we have to go to him? If we don't find him, we won't learn anything. You don't remember anything in particular about him, do you? Yes, like the same. When he called out to me, I thought he was just hitting on me. He was a tall man, but anything more detailed than that. She says, looking flustered. I wonder just how optimistic we can be. If we're ambushed within Manton Aquarium, we may actually meet the guy Minato is talking about. I quickly denied these thoughts. Despite hanging around Manton Aquarium for a while, we find no clues, so we go to the club to do some research. In other words, we're going completely in circles. Seo-chan, are you mad? I'm not really mad at you. Seo-chan, you're a detective or something? What? Are you stupid? You say that a lot, Seo. You just don't talk like a normal person is all, Seo-chan. Are you investigating Manton Aquarium? Doesn't matter, does it? Not good. I want to be your friend, Seo-chan. I don't want you to hate me over something like this. Ridiculous. I click my tongue, then heave a sigh. Minato's point of view is always so different from mine. I have not the slightest idea how the conversation ended up this way. This is enough. I'll investigate on my own. Seo-chan? As I start to leave Manton Aquarium, Minato calls after me. If you have time this weekend, I want to come back here with you. If you're looking into those rumors, Seo-chan, I'll help you. Why? I told you, didn't I? I want to be your friend. I want to do all kinds of stuff with you, Seo-chan. That's why I'm asking you the reason why. Probably because you like music and because you listen to what I have to say, but it could be something different. I don't really understand it myself. It doesn't matter to me whether or not you're with me. Your thoughts aren't wrong. It's just that I'm asking for my own reasons. I say this curtly and Minato looks down. After a brief pause, I continue. Next Friday, I'll come here once more. I'll stop off at the cafe by the train station around the same time. Do as you like. Seo-chan. Later. Okay, later. Even I don't know why I said it like that. It wasn't that I like or dislike Minato. She shouldn't mean anything to me. I don't feel at all like I've gotten any closer to the truth. Even so, I have a gut feeling that Minato's experience is directly connected to the truth. Even if Minato herself turns out to be useless, there's no mistake that something may happen that involves her. Not even attempting to hide my irritation, I walk along clicking my tongue numerous times. After school, my homeroom teacher suddenly called me out. Minato Miku is homesick, and I'm to take some important paperwork to her. I don't care if they're a summons or exam results, so I didn't pay attention. If the family can't come, then friends are asked to deliver papers. When the homeroom teacher said this, my name apparently came up. I thought about protesting that, since he was a teacher, he should take it himself, but then I remembered I was on cleaning duty and could use this as an excuse to skip out. It's better delivering something alone than having to do anything with my vapid classmates. Nice. After school, I change and head for the address the homeroom teacher gave me. So it's here. Using a private railway line from the west gate of Manton Station, it takes about 10 minutes. I buy drinks at a supermarket near the station. I'm just gonna take a drink for a sec. Hopefully that wasn't really loud. Yeah, buy drinks. It is not that far from the station, but even in the small distance I travel, I get the impression that I've long since left the city. Is she gonna be going crazy seeing fish? Minato's home is on the 12th floor of an apartment building. The building is beautiful and seems to have been built within the last 5 years. The entrance is serene, like a hotel lobby illuminated by warm-colored lighting. I press the button for intercom, and after waiting for about a minute, I hear Minato's voice. Hi. Hurry and unlock it. The auto lock is released and I take the elevator up. It's wide enough to fit about 8 people in one car. The interior of her apartment shares its orange-colored lighting with the entrance. The door faces away from the highway, causing the neighboring apartments to seem close. It's a nice little apartment. Say your time! Thanks. I just came because I was asked to. Minato's apartment is as pretty as I imagined it would be. There's little furniture and everything is kept meticulously tidy. I figured she would be bad at keeping things clean based on her carefree personality, but that doesn't appear to be the case. Well, wouldn't she be living with her parents? There are a few utensils in the kitchen, and on closer inspection, dust is gathered in places out of reach. Well, that's a letdown. I can venture a guess at the type of life she leads. I'll leave the documents on the table in your living room, along with some sports drinks, club soda, and fruits. I'm opening your fridge. Hey, the meat and natto in here are going bad. The moment I open the fridge, a foul odor wafts out. There's mold growing on the meat, and the natto is impossible to describe without a single word. I toss them in the trash. Most of the trash appears to be wrappers for side dishes and junk food. Figures she barely cooks at all. Even I'm not this bad. I had no idea that natto is already bad. There's a difference between fermentation and spoilage. Even though it's in the fridge, it's on the verge of going bad. Are your parents not around? Is that why you had me bring these papers in their stead? I borrow a glass and rinse it out, then pour club soda inside. I decide to have a drink before I head home and sit down on the sofa. Minato seems to have improved after having slept for half the day, so she pours one of the sports drinks I bought into a glass and sits down on the living room sofa. She sits down beside me, but it's a big enough sofa that it doesn't feel cramped. After taking a sip, Minato responds. You see, my mother is a single parent. Without lemon, I'm less than satisfied. I glance at the clock and see that it's already 4:30 p.m. The numbers on the clock leave a bigger impression on me than Minato's lonely expression. It was definitely made in Italy. I look around, noting that she owns many expensive things, including the furniture. Minato gives a small smile at the fact that I show no reaction. sorry for saying something like that. It has nothing to do with you." That sad expression seems to be saying that it still isn't enough. But I don't exactly care to hear her story. You're so harsh. Looking around her apartment gives me a general understanding, but those words confirm the fact that her mother rarely comes home. However, none of that has anything to do with me. For some time, the only sound is that of the clock hand. Time passes and it plays a fixed rhythm. I clean up my empty glass and say to Minato, "Well, I have to go." "Hey, Seo-chan, are we still on for visiting the aquarium we planned for Friday?" Minato asks me this after I've stood up. It's not exactly a plan, but why wouldn't we be? My objective hasn't been met yet. You should know that much. Good, I'll see you then. See you then. We go to the same school, but weird is weird. This is how our relationship is. I don't want to be seen as being close to somebody, at least not enough, so that they might think I have a friend, which is a possibility if they see us talking at school. "I'll walk you to the entrance," she says as I'm already on my way out. Oh. Minato finishes speaking, but it's a dull thud that causes me to turn around. Minato? Minato has collapsed on the spot. I call out to her, but there is no response, so I walk back over to her. When I touch her to sit her up, I feel that she has a high fever. Following her fall, her breathing has become ragged. It's because the Manta in the aquarium thing? You pushed yourself too hard. Why? I didn't push myself too hard. You came all this way. I just wanted to talk to you. Don't talk. Anyway, you need to lie down on the sofa. Helps that the sofa is so big. As I help her, Minato lies down. Minato has misinterpreted things. It's not that I came to her house for personal reasons, much less to chat. However, now isn't the time to chase her about such things. Minato's fever is very high. She's short of breath from sitting up, and it seems to be getting harder and harder for her to breathe. I'm fine, Seo-chan. Don't speak. I fill a bowl with water, dip a washcloth inside, and place it on Minato's forehead. Sweat is building up, so I use a separate cloth to wipe it away. You're actually nice, Seo-chan. A little bit of sports drink should be okay, so I pour some into her mouth. I'm worried she will become dehydrated. Then there's this May weather. It's been really hot lately, so she's probably really tired from that too. That's basically all I can do, so I devote the rest of my energy to things like changing the water in the bowl. Her physical condition hasn't improved, but the symptoms have subsided somewhat. As a thought crosses my mind and I glance at the clock, 8 o'clock has already rolled around. Minato seems sleepy, so I lend her my shoulder and put her to bed. As I do, I decide I should leave. According to Minato, her mother should be home soon. Honestly, I feel worried about leaving her to a parent that lets her live this lifestyle, but Minato insists that she's alright, so I give in. Worrying won't help. I've always had a strong constitution, but it's because of your eating habits. Say something to your mother tomorrow and reevaluate your diet. The cause is clear. Having suggested that, I continue with later. Seo-chan, I'll get better by Friday. It's fine, so be quiet. I'll go to Manta Aquarium regardless of whether you're with me or not. There's no need for you to worry about it. So like you, Seo-chan. I begin to hear the soft breathing of someone who's fallen asleep. As I take a step away and think it over, I hit a sigh, realizing what happens from here on doesn't concern me. Get better soon, otherwise, this will leave a bitter taste in my mouth. It's more likely than not that she can't hear me, but I realize at that moment that her breathing has gotten louder. Just like that, I leave Minato's home behind. When we get to the good stuff. Oh! Oh. Apparently it was that very night that Minato leapt from her apartment building. She didn't crash into the ground, instead getting caught in a tree with almost no injury, but it seems she won't wake up. The point of impact was probably pretty bad. There's also the possibility that she hit her head. I hear that it wasn't a suicide. I've heard talk that it was because she tried to sit on her balcony. But that's hard to believe. All that's going around school is rumor that Minato took her own life. Being unable to wake up despite having no injuries, the rumor floating around the hospital is that she lost her life energy, the thing that a person needs in order to keep on living. I wish that at least the doctors would refute such nonsense. It's only a matter of time before her mysterious jump becomes intertwined with the urban legends surrounding Manton Aquarium. Only the most sensational things, with no basis in reality, become part of the rumors. I wonder if she'll be okay, like, after, when we beat the game or something. Because she's, like, still alive, but... So it's... I don't know. I don't have any desire to track down the whole truth. So for me, the information I've gotten up to now on the subject is enough. Of course, it seems that she won't be coming to school anymore. She isn't getting any visitors either. With nothing but unanswered questions, it seems I'm left with a bad aftertaste after all. Reminds me of the flavorless taste of club soda with no lemon in it. So that's like at the beginning, that girl who jumps out the window. On Friday night, despite all this, I go to the coffee shop even though I know she won't come. I feel I should keep up my end of the promise. After I wait for an hour, Minato doesn't come. After that, I head for Manton Aquarium alone, but it's a fruitless endeavor. I couldn't find the one spreading all the rumors after all. Sounds like Silky Strawberry is performing again today. I sit down at the furthest edge of the bar and put my drink to my lips. After the director, my father, passed away, my mother took custody of me. My mother divorced my father when I was still young. I don't know why they did it, but she probably had money issues with my business-consumed dreamer of a father. My mother lived with her parents, my grandparents. As the daughter of the man who divorced their daughter, I was seen as nothing more than a burden, and those days were lonely and sad. Really? Not a single member of my family came the day of my junior high entrance ceremony. When I came home, several days' worth of meals for me were in the refrigerator, and money for daily expenses, far more than a student would ever need, were left on the table. Back in those days, I hoped they still loved me, as they had paid for me to attend an expensive private school. But I got the answer. The impression I got from the neighbors was that the reason I was able to attend the private school was because of my father's insistence. On top of the desk was a memo pad with the words, "We'll be on a trip until next week," written on it, the money just left sitting out there. Their car had also disappeared from the parking lot. My school wasn't in the area, so no one knew when my entrance ceremony was. Sending me to a school so far away was the same thing as my mother putting me in a site at home. That was fine with me. I came to the conclusion that the reason my father had custody of me was because my mother hadn't wanted me from the start. Aww. Then on their way home, they all died in an accident. My mother, grandparents, and also a young man that was with them. So my inheritance passed down to me. There was a struggle against my relatives to see who would get custody of me. When I saw the amount of my inheritance, I realized their divorce was so that my mother's family assets wouldn't be depleted by my father's debts. Rather than be sad, I looked at the future ahead. Using the name of some relative I didn't care for, I rented an apartment near the school I attended, and following through my inheritance, began living alone. Learning the full truth did not sadden me. Instead, on the occasion of my father's passing, the feeling I had that I was always alone was reiterated for me once more. Well, at least we're getting more story for Seo. When I come back to the present, Silky Strawberry is about to perform. Before the first song finishes, I leave the club. Tonight's song resonates too heavily within my heart. On the way home, I'm reminded of when I walk to the station, or when I walked to the station with Minato when I came here before. The lights of the town at night are so pretty. I realize I prefer walking alone. The moon isn't out tonight, though. Ah, I remember that ridiculous rumor. Like that on the day of a full moon, the water in the tank turns to blood, or that fish with human faces swim about, or that those who get lost in the closed-down deep-sea fish booth never come home. Worthless stories written on the internet. Shh. Not caring where I heard it, I click my tongue in the center of the road. Don't walk in the middle of the road, Sayo. The answer has been there from the start, the day that something would happen. That's... Several days later, I pay a visit to Manton Aquarium. I occasionally hear about Minato's condition, but there's apparently no change. Today being Sunday, the town is full of people, but Manton Aquarium is empty. Those rumors must have some influence to them. Shortly after the incident with Minato, the rumors have gained even more credibility. Even without knowing the truth, somewhere subconsciously it must seem plausible enough. Let's go. On the day of the full moon, I am ready. Even if it means losing my life to the full moon, I will find the truth, because there's nothing more I can lose. Yeah, well, that's sad. She had, her mom didn't care about her, her dad died, and then, her mom died too. Before she realized it, the girl was standing before an imposing door. The girl occasionally came to Manton Aquarium alone. She watched the manta rays, she watched the jellyfish, and finally she decided it was time to go home. Where is it? She had her doubts, but there should be nothing else there except for the aquarium. She assured herself that she had probably wandered off onto a side path. The door before her had a large padlock hanging from it. Just as she had heard, it was unlocked and merely dangling there. Gulp. The girl drew in a breath. Being locked would usually mean it was a place that she shouldn't enter. Being open just meant that a staff member had forgotten to lock it, so going in was out of the question. Her curiosity piqued, she was past the point of persuasion. Her imagination ran wild, and her mind raced at the prospect of what might lie beyond the door. Just for a little bit. She opened the door and saw lots of glass tanks, several types of fish hailing from deep seas, from football fish and oarfish to pelican eels and barrel eyes were swimming about. Why isn't this an exhibit? She thought it over, wondering why this would be in a closed-off area. Behind her, the door shut on its own. The girl spaced out, staring at the deep-sea fish swimming about. They would leap from the tank and swim in midair. The entirety of the room was the fish and their ocean. Though it was an unnatural occurrence, the girl treated it as quite normal. Wasn't there originally a deep-sea fish booth that was shut down? She suddenly remembered at that moment her surroundings were dyed a deep red. The water in the tank, the fluorescent lights, all of it was red. The girl's vision also became red. When she opened her eyes, the girls were back in her own room. It was well into the night. She couldn't remember how she had gotten home after all of that. And more importantly, she had a bad feeling about something else. It isn't red here. She became aware of how hard it suddenly was to breathe. No matter how hard she got, she was unable to get oxygen into her body. Like the fish who couldn't breathe anywhere but in water, she couldn't breathe unless she was inside that red color. She was convinced. On impulse, she threw open the window, leaned out, and thrust a hand outside. She couldn't inhale the wind flooding her room. She could only smell its milky and pleasant scent. More. At that moment, the girl's body was tossed into the air. For just a second, her body seemed to float like a fish in the sea. Her room was on the 12th floor of her apartment building. In her fading consciousness, the girl watched her blood flow endlessly from her body. It's red. Only then could she breathe. Now everything would be fine. The girl smiled. The full moon and the night sky smiled too. Well, that didn't happen the same night, though, that she went to Manton. Drip, drip. I think this is the same. The sound of falling drops. The moon. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is the same. Red. It's like Aunt Flo came to visit. What the heck? Oh. Okay, well I'm gonna go menu, save. See right there, back to game. I'm gonna just see. This stuff is all the same, so I'm gonna skip through it. I wonder if play through it again and I can get like more choices or something. And maybe so that girl won't die. Because I swear, when I looked into it a little bit, there was a way that she didn't die. I think this is all the same. Let's say I'm not. Say as if he had flushed it out of me. Actually, I was less my physical condition and more what was on my mind. So I was hesitant to explain that to a stranger from the get-go. Guess not, your face looks really upset. You alright? Can you get back home? Need me to take you to the station? The smile he gives me baffles me. The reason was because that smile seemed unnatural. I definitely had no recollection of him, and I've never had this much contact with a man who is not a relative. No need to worry, I work part-time in this building, so I'm familiar with Minton. Hey, what are you doing? I'm gonna skip all this. I'll just say, what is hitting on someone? I said that before. So, because he wants to, you know, show us around, I think, is what it was. So I'll say, that's fine. Oh, surprising how quick you got into a good mood. Yoshi-san snaps his fingers and rushes to our side. Out, out. We'll do that. Sound like a slap. I want to see what happens when you save. I don't think it makes a difference, but I can't take it. I throw up everything that falls inside me. It doesn't all come up at once, taking 2-3 times of convulsions to get all the vomit out. Interesting. It was disgusting. Still even more disgusting was the fact that the insects had gathered around my vomit as if it were a feast. What in the world was happening? Why did I have to relive these memories? I can't figure out the answer to my doubts, not at all. I'm gonna go through that, go back. Let's go back. Worry about him, now go back. I know it's a bad ending. Step forward and in that moment. Huh? When I open the door and step through, there is no fish of the world booth. Before I can even rationalize the scene before me, I am pulled in by some sort of swirl. Nice. Trying to figure out what's wrong, I realize I'm having trouble getting air. I really want air, so I pause for breath. My mouth fills with a fishy stench, brine seawater. I know from the salty taste that I've swallowed seawater. The reason I can't breathe is because all around me is ocean water. I understand that I'm in the ocean, devoid of light, no light and no sound in the darkness. Wondering why I move my limbs at this rate, I'll drown. It hasn't been more than a minute since I got pulled under the sea. How many seconds have passed at this point? No, that isn't right. Or this isn't right, I have to get up out of the water. However, up to this point, there has been no light overhead, and I'm forced into an inevitable battle with my despair. I frantically endure my suffocation, swimming higher and higher. Suddenly being thrown into the water hasn't thrown off my sense of up or down, as a desire to live serves an instinct to guide me upward. I still can't see, but I'm alright. Just like that, I seem to have answered my own question. I can feel the clothes I'm wearing become heavy. However, if I have time to shed my clothes, then I have time to continue upward. My thinking that is that alone. I've heard there is a high pressure in the deep part of the ocean that crushes every living thing, and my body is completely fine. That means where I am at that moment shouldn't be that deep. If I swim hard enough, I should make it. I just have to hit the surface and take a deep breath. How many seconds have passed at this point? I have no sense of time whatsoever in this darkness. Even so, I know that some time has passed since I was thrown into the ocean. A minute probably passed a while ago. Here my consciousness has become a fade. Immediately after, I see the darkness of death. A small light illuminates the tip of my nose. Because I have been swimming so frantically, I haven't noticed, but it seems as though I've gone up quite a ways. It will all be alright. The surface is close. I reach out my hand. I reach out towards that light. That is all that I can do. That's because my legs won't move. No matter how frantically I try to move them, my legs won't even quiver. It feels as if something has ensnared them. It has the elasticity of a bottomless trampoline. From the tips of my toes to my rear, that soft sensation wraps tightly around me. I want to think this is why. No, I have actually decided I will not believe it. That a giant octopus has wrapped itself around my legs. Its gum-like suckers are the size of the palm of my hand. I can't even imagine how large its entire body is. And you die. The light is getting farther away. My eyes have already closed. For some reason, Himena's smiling face floats before me, though it should be her anchored face that I see last. Just like that, I am in darkness. As much as it has tamed up my legs and lost all feeling, no wonder my legs are no longer what they once were. With the depletion of my oxygen supply, my brain has already changed into a machine for merely processing my situation. Within the darkness, I dispassionately communicates my non-existent will to my forelimbs, which have lost all sensation. It won't be long before the only thing I can see or sense is darkness. That's because I've already become part of that darkness. Into the silent abyss. Nice. Bad end. There's a lot of bad ends for this game. And I didn't get them all. Oh my goodness, I'm yawning. Load. Load. Oh wait, I didn't. There. Skip. Going back is dangerous. Don't do that. Skip through this. I have no choice but to run straight through. Is this when you die from the jellyfish? Because I did get that end. Well, I got it. I think I got it on the demo. Here. I'm not gonna read it. Because pretty much she just runs and slips. And she gets stung. And the jellyfish are poisonous or whatever. Yeah, poison. So she calls for help and there's nobody. So, you know, she tries to get up again. Call for help. Nothing. She falls to the ground. She gets stung. She vomits. You know, all that stuff. Oh. And then she comes to. Oh, and she turns into a jellyfish. She can see Himeno. Himeno looking for her. Yep. That's it. You're a jellyfish. You're a jellyfish. Why you? My form. That's the other bad end. Because I don't think I did get this one in, like, I got it in the demo, but this is the full game that I bought. I'll go back here. I really should have saved, but I did not. Going back is dangerous. And no, I can't think of anything. No. So skip this. Then that dude comes to save her. These are all the same. Yoshi-san! And I want to go menu, save. I'm just gonna save. Because I didn't make, it says please Yoshi-san. I didn't do that. Please Yoshi-san. Trusting in his masculine appearance, I bowed deeply. In reality, it was as Yoshi-san had said. I had very little stamina to begin with, and now fatigue was building up inside me. Deciding to stay was as good as these heavy legs of mine were proof of. As for things with Himeno, it would be best to talk them through later. If we talked them over in this tense state, we'd probably just get into another argument. Yoshi-san might even serve as our mediator. As expected in this gloomy building, he didn't have to walk far before he disappeared. The sound of his gradually fading footsteps also disappeared. The only thing I could hear nearby was my own breathing. That's why that high roaring scream pierced right through my eardrums. Gyo! It was a scream that seemed to have echoed through every corridor. No, in and out of the whole building, it was just someone shouting, but someone crying out as if splitting apart their throat. At the sense of impending danger that voice bore, my own throat began to tighten. That scream. That voice wasn't merely familiar, it was the voice of Hiyoshi-san, who had been right in front of me just 1 minute earlier. He didn't get very far. After that single loud scream, I could no longer hear his voice. Hiyoshi-san? I quickly stand up, running to the source of the scream. This place connects the tube tunnel booth and the souvenir shop. That's where I heard the voice coming from. I run toward the tunnel tank. Huh? Mayu-chan? I told you to wait there for me. More importantly, that scream a minute ago. Did something happen? Hiyoshi-san is sitting at the entrance of the tunnel tank, not far from the aquarium entrance. On my question, he gives a wishy-washy reply of, "You were worried about me. I'm so happy." Now, it's somewhat embarrassing story, but it looked like there was a person floating inside that tank. Under the circumstances, it just surprised me. The person in that tank, speaking of which, he might not mention something like that, but I'm glad I thought you'd gotten caught up in some terrible situation like I had earlier. I was relieved from the bottom of my heart. Following that relief, I became aware of my own fear of being isolated again. Chuckling, Hiyoshi-san scratches his head. "Say, Mayu-chan." I never got to hear the rest of what he was going to say. Huh? It all took place in a matter of seconds, leaving me unable to make sense of what happened. However, I gradually realized what was unfolding before my eyes. From Hiyoshi-san's neck up, I could see through to the tank. I didn't understand what I was seeing. In other words, his head was no longer where it should have been. Having lost a piece of himself so valuable to the human body, he collapsed slowly on the spot. From there, he never moved again. Soaking up the blue lighting, his reddish-black blood spreading across the floor. Huh. This is new. No! This time it was my turn to split my vocal cords. Oh, he has no head. Why? How had he gotten like this? What could have happened to have left him in this state? Hiyoshi-san's head tumbles along the ground and catches my eye. His eyes are wide and his pupils dilated. The grin I had seen hours earlier still spread across his face. There are marks on the nape of his neck as if his head had been bitten clean off. And I will be right back in un momento, because I need to go do something quick. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. I just have to do something quick, and then I'll continue on with what I was doing. Into game. Begin to see this beautiful image right here. probably gonna take another drink. I enjoy these games, but like, so much reading. But like when I don't know, if I watch someone stream one of these games, I like when they read it. Even if, you know, they just read it in their regular voice. They don't do anything special. It's just makes it nicer because then I don't have to read it, like when I'm watching someone. So I expect people like the same thing. I don't know. If not, I guess I'm reading it for no reason, but whatevs, whatevs. Just gonna take a drink. Sorry if that was loud. I did move the mic away. But I think just when I mute it, it makes like a shh noise, so I don't like to mute it if I don't have to. Yep, so I read that. Hiyoshi-san! I intended to run and leave the dead Hiyoshi-san. Whatever left those bite marks was still nearby, but I couldn't do it. So you die too. Blood. It hurts. The area below my knees had become pitch black. My boots, Mom. There's no pain, only the visualization of pain running through my mind. In spite of losing my legs, I can't actually feel the pain. Of course not. That body of mine has lost its leg. I'm watching it from a separate place. This subjective point of view would have been impossible while I was alive. My head was already just like Yoshi-san's, just rolling on the floor. The cold temperature of my blood, that was the last thing I felt. Right before I lost consciousness, I saw its unbelievable true form through my wavy mist of my fading vision. With many fangs and a giant body, it was a fish. Decapitation 1. And the other one, Decapitation. I'm pretty sure I got it anyway. It's pretty much the same, but I don't think we get like an image like we did this time. Yoshi sad. Yoshi-san. Yoshi sad. Well, he is sad. He died. So I wonder if we can change things though that we got at the beginning of that story. Because we didn't get that before. I'm gonna load it in case it doesn't take us to the proper one. Please wait, I'll go. So we'll skip all through this. We should get a better look. Because then we don't die. And this is where he goes crazy. So I did kick about frantically. I think that one works. Yeah. A map definitely going to come in handy. So just keep going. You don't really need to read the book. Skip through that. Stay with her, and I already did this in my other, playing through it. Stay with her like this. We'll get infected by the same parasites that were in her and then die. So look for a way out of the aquarium. Just gonna skip through all the stuff that I've already done. If anyone's interested in it, you can always watch my videos. They're saved. They're also on YouTube. Except for a couple that got deleted, but that's not of this one anyway. They should all be on here. Except for the demo. But that's like the very beginning of the game, I think. Go back the way I came. Go back using a new route. So I went to menu, save, right there, back to game. go back the way I came, because I think it will bring us to a bad end. Kyoshi-san is probably in the staff passage I came through earlier, but it shouldn't be a danger that I cannot overcome. If I can run past him in one shot, surely it will all be okay. I wonder if he'll be there. I open the door carefully with a soft It's at that moment. Gah. Oh, gah. Sharp pain runs up from the base of my neck. Whatever bit my neck knocks me to the ground. No, not good. Gah, gah. With each bite, the air in my neck makes a squelching sound. The cold stench of iron and the smell of blood. The smell of my blood and the saliva of whatever is doing this to me mixing together. Choked up by the scent, I realize that the air filling my mouth is hitting the bottom of my chin. Breath from my own mouth shouldn't reach the bottom of my chin. The inconsistency here is because that breath is being vented from an air hole that was open in my neck. My voice isn't a voice anymore. It is nothing more than the sound of air escaping as unable to offer resistance. My body is overrun by that something. Gah. Is it Kyoshi-san? Gah, gah. Yeah. There's no pain. All I can feel is gradual depletion of my own flesh. That something's head bobs up for a moment. Someone I know, the face of a man I know. So he ate us. Ate our neck. Before long, everything is engulfed in silence. Surely, this is my death. Yeah, it is. Being eaten by one who saved my life, Kyoshi-san. It is merely my tiny death and nothing more. Interesting. Irrational. Yep. Pretty much. Bad end. Okay, so load again. Go back using a new route. Wonder what happens. Let me see it again. Yep, that's the game. Say that I have to hurry along. I have to hurry along. I never did this one, so no, I can't worry about that right now. I avert my eyes from the girl and the orca, backing against the wall as much as possible. Against the wall, I stealthily move on, a step at a time. I'm sorry for the girl, but I have no time to waste right now. I have to help the men out as quickly as possible. Trying to make no noise, I head cautiously for the exit of the passage. Ugh. With several meters remaining, my ears suddenly begin to ring. Huh? What? I'm spinning round and round. Immediately after I lose the ability to stand, baffled at the suddenness of what is happening, I collapse on the spot. No, why? Since it isn't as though anyone will answer, I struggle to pull myself up. Getting a grasp on the floor is as impossible as trying to grab a bubble. My vision is spinning, leaving me unable to grasp whether the floor is the wall or the wall is the floor. Ah! Gradually, breathing begins to feel difficult. I can't breathe. I can't get enough oxygen. Ah! Ha! Before I know it, I'm in the ocean. I struggle to right myself in this unchanging ocean with no up or down. If there's no ground, that means it's impossible to do something like stand. When the orca hunt, they fire off ultrasonic waves. This causes their prey to lose the sense of equilibrium in their semicircular canals. Long ago, I heard that somewhere. So it's already too late. I am prey, merely bait for a predator to feed on, becoming their focus before I realize it. 3 orcas are swimming around. Having no sense of equilibrium, there's no way I can tell which orca is to the left and which is to the right. Red. Adjacent to my spinning vision is a dark brownish red clump. The deep red liquid flowing from that clump blends with the seawater. Go. Whether I flee or not, my fate has been decided. Within the ocean where I cannot see the bottom, I await the same conclusion as that piece of meat. With me chosen as their next target, I will be eaten by those orca. The tips of their tapered teeth sink into my skin, being torn apart just as it is explained in reference books, with the orca taking my arm completely off. No scream will come out. That's because my voice dissolves into the water. That distinct pain detaches me from reality. But I still haven't eaten ice cream with Himeno. Those words appear vaguely at a place in my wavering consciousness. I can think of nothing but saving Himeno, so I'm sure she'll be happy. No, she'll hate you. A neck smashed by teeth. That seems like that should be the name of the death when we got, our neck eaten by the other dude. Wonder if getting all the endings you can unlock a super true ending that tells you what happens to Kenji. Because it seems suspicious that you talk to, I don't know, he's there on the full moon. Maybe he purposely gets people to go in or something on the full moon. So he can kill them and eat them. I don't know. Seems weird though. So the other bad end, and say I have to save her. And fire extinguisher. That's a fire extinguisher. At the edge of the room, I discover a fire extinguisher. If I can attract their attention with this, and somehow while the orcas are distracted, I would need to get away. Pull the yellow pin from the extinguisher and point the hose at the orca. Same. In time with my shout, I pulled the nozzle of the fire extinguisher with everything I have. At that moment, white smoke sprays out. Hidden in the smoke, the orca's form immediately vanished. Take this opportunity and run for it. I shout, leaving the fire extinguisher on the ground. I run for the exit. Huh? It is only a second later that I feel something strike my back. It's so hard it's incomparable to bumping into people in town. I pitch forward and fall. No! Cat! That scream is involuntary. Little by little, the air around my neck starts to hurt, and I scream once more. My breath grows light. Air is blowing into the hole that had opened in my neck. Oh. Ah, half. After a while, my screams will not even come out anymore. Orca is raining at me. 3 orca had been with that girl, and 1 more was right where I had been heading. It is useless to wonder about where it came from. With the orca swimming in air, the concept of space itself has become more than ambiguous. My body is overrun with the orca's small, sharp teeth. I try to raise my voice, but I realize my mouth is full of seawater. Before I figure out what's going on, I'm in the ocean. Just blood splatter everywhere. The blood exiting from my body gradually flows upward. I'm not just in the ocean, but it seems I'm in the deep part of it. I try to fill my chest with air. Water flows into my lungs from the hole in my neck. My body will likely return to the sea. As I think this, my body, which is taken on buoyancy, seems as if it belongs to someone else. And that's the other bad end. Oh. Yes, you are dead. Being too kind-hearted is merely foolishness. Well, I'm in a hurry. I have something I have to do. Oh, so I saved her. But I die. Melting. Achievement yellow. Interesting. Interesting. Bad end. I think there might be one more bad end with that, but I think I got enough bad ends for that one. Can always, you know, go back on my own time and do it. Because if it's like similar to those, then it's just, you know, boring. Load. There we go. Now I'll choose the right path. Have to save her. Skip. I think it was that one. And then use the sense of hearing. Yeah. Skip. Come with me. Let's go together. I think these are the same. But I'll just save there. And I'll say, come with me. Then come with me. Don't treat me like a child. I have no desire to run away from this place. The girl rejects my proposition flat out, giving the impression that she would never accept. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. And I can skip it all. I have to save Jimeno, I have to save Mary. I'll say that. Skip. And I already got this ending. It's like you could go through and then you can't get back. There. So that's why it's a bad end. And I'm gonna say, you're mean! You're mean! Don't expect me to take care of you. I'm making the best choice. Anyway, if you die in there, your friend dies too, so make sure to come back. You don't need to say that. I've already made up my mind to go. Well, I'll wait for you without worrying. Okay. I'm gonna skip this. I'll just say Kenji-san. Skip. That's a weird frog part. I'm pretty sure I already got this end. But I'll do it anyway. I can't. It's not laughing matter if I fall, so I'll go that way. Do you doubt me? Huh? You get that you don't have time for that, right? The girl speaks in a cold voice and closes the door, as if recognizing my suddenly slowed heartbeat. The rain stops. The sprinklers have been turned off. What? No words will come out. Even as I come to understand my circumstances, I cannot say anything. Croak, croak, croak. Maybe I didn't do it. Let's see. No, I haven't. What? Kiki. The frogs cannon continues as I hop freely, shout, they spray liquid all over. Frightened, I kick the bright red frog at my feet into the air. He is crushed with a splat, his venom wetting the tips of my toes. Hot! Scream this word reflexively. Actually, ouch would have probably fit better than hot. Shaking, I look down at my feet. My right big toenail is slowly melting away. Spray from raising my foot so high clatters about, some of it getting in my left eye. My vision fades in sync with the intense pain. Croak, croak, croak. Walk, walk, walk. Keep. The stench of acid grows stronger once more. I have to get to the door. During the pain, I take a step. I crush several frogs, leaving the sensation of slippery meat. The fluids that scatter about strike me around the knees. As I take my second step, I lose my balance. I can't balance on the leg that has melted. But it doesn't hurt. Why? I quickly get my answer. My nerves have already been paralyzed. As long as I can't feel pain, at least not the intense pain of my flesh melting. Ha ha ha. I laugh naturally, even though my body has begun to deteriorate. I feel no agonizing pain. Ha ha ha. How strange. My fainting consciousness, I keep thinking that I should at least try to laugh. The madness that follows indecision. Yep. Same. Same. So that's another bad end. I just want to see how I'm doing for the bad ends and stuff. Well, I definitely have more. There's still a lot more though. See, it looks like there's like different true endings. How can there be multiple true endings though? Straight through until I get out. And this one, I believe no, Oreo, ow. And this doesn't make a difference either way. Like, I try to stop her. She gets her head bashed anyway, and that's all the same. Yeah, so she dies anyway. And this one, I don't think I got it on stream. This is a little sister, but it's not actually a sister. So we take her hand, and my vision becomes ultramarine. Without knowing why I can no longer breathe. Like the ones I experienced numerous times, it's one of the phenomena that happened at this time. This is a situation that I'm otherwise common. Somehow I have to get out of here. As I think I fall on my arms and lie to bed, my body is no longer standing on the floor of the planet. I'm in the ocean or a lake, sometimes body is gone. Mary, where's Mary? Oh, darn, I don't think I saved. Turning around and around, I search for her. Ow! Soon find Mary, her eyes are wide open and she floats about like this. Huh? In the depths of my heart, I feel as if I'm falling into despair. Just like the girl who was murdered, Mary is dead. She's dead. No! When I scream, my spirit blasts my oxygen, causing a bubble in the water. Mary. Base Mary's throat, there are red scars. Mary Timid just drowned to death. Mary was, did not realize this in consciousness. Bright red. This place is a world of bright red. Within this bright red world, I wait for someone to come visit me. You've come. Yes, that's right. Someone has gotten lost. If the person is still living, we have to retrieve their soul. In that way, we maintain this deep red world. A blessed form one. I'm eating a popsicle. I hope it's not too loud on the stream or anything. I'm trying to be quiet. Load. Yeah, I didn't save it. Feels bad. through all this BS again. She'll learn my lesson. So right here, I'll go menu, save right there, back to game, say wait. Drawn down to the sound, I look down at my feet, the keychain with the droplet and the starfish, that precious memory of Mary and I, that unstable bridge connecting Himeno and I. This keychain had a sticker with a picture printed on it attached to its back, so it probably isn't Mary's, but it has the same shape. Sorry, Mary, I've been regretting not trading you the jellyfish keychain this whole time. I hung up on something so petty, so... No, that whole thing doesn't matter. Huh? Mary's words, I withdraw the hand I hold out to her. Just now Mary said it doesn't matter, not don't worry about it, or it's not important. She declared it nonchalantly with that smile she always wears. My heart resounds with a loud thump. At that moment, Himeno's words float through my mind. For argument's sake, even if this Mary girl is here, she would have grown in 5 years, and her clothes would be the same. It's summer, so she wouldn't be wearing a coat, moreover. All of a sudden, that floating sensation disappears, and instead I feel the impact falling to the ground. In reality, I'd been sitting, so my fall was more like tipping over. This isn't right. This isn't right. What's wrong, big sister? Come on, let's go. Okay, I'll go. I squeeze Mary's hand tight. For a moment, my vision becomes ultramarine. And I think this is the same. Yeah, that's right, the same. Mary was turn around and search for Al. I soon find Mary, her eyes are wide, open and she floats on her legs. Just like the girl who's working instead, she said, "Oh, this one is slightly different." No? Oh. Huh. Blessed form too, but it was the same. Oh well, I guess I got the other ending. It's the ending list. It's slowly filling up. Oh, I didn't get the second one. So load. So say wait. Skip. No, this isn't right. Skip. And I never got to go solo to the storage room. Wonder what's in here. On sneaking a peek, there's hula hoops, bowls, and other things loose in the shows. I also catch sights of mops, vacuums, and other cleaning supplies. There seems to be few things of any use, such as books or documents. Close the door, leaving the storage room behind me. So, reference room. Maybe this is some kind of reference. Since it's like a reference room, maybe I can get some information. As I think this, I push open the door to the reference room. After confirming no strange phenomena taking place, I step inside the room. Inside there are massive amounts of books, files arranged on metal bookshelves. Looking at the spine of the books, they all appear to be technical in nature. Research data also appears to be mixed in. I've heard that aquariums are also implied to be facilities for research. Seeing this room has convinced me of that. I see it is. It's not like there be any materials written about the strange thing happening into an aquarium, would there? Since this place is itself an abnormality, having come to this conclusion, I noticed a book near the entrance on deep sea fish. Deep sea fish were the last words that the girl left with. Strangely interested, I take the book inside my hands. It seems there's a technology called nanobubble, an extremely small bubble less than a micrometer. By suddenly compressing a microbubble, a bubble less than 50 micrometers, a relatively stable purification process can be performed. It seems that due to the properties of vapors in the bubble, various effects can be expected. If ozone is sealed within these bubbles, water can be purified through bacterial process. Since it's not using detergent or other chemical substances, it seems to be good for the environment. There's also an example of sealing nitrogen inside the bubble so it dissolves down to a finite amount, preventing the oxidization of caught fish so they can be delivered to cities while still fresh. Of particular note is the freshwater and saltwater fish using a similar composition in their bodily fluids apply the bubbles technique to balance the electrolytes in fresh water with their own bodily fluids as a means of coexistence. Freshwater fish cannot live in water that has a higher concentration than within their own bodies, and saltwater fish cannot live in water that has a lower concentration. Furthermore, it seems that microscopic bubbles can stimulate activity at the cellular level. There are cases of the bubbles being used to cure koi herpes virus, for example. The deep-sea fish booth at Manta Aquariums have been set up with this technique. Naturally, it would involve a cost incomparable to normal expenditures. In other words, it would take more money. The obvious downside then would have to be pressure for funds. This isn't time for reading. It's all very interesting, but it would be something better researched after I return to real Manta Aquarium with Himeno. Return the book to its real spot and leave the reference room behind. Director's office. So skip. I'm going to leave the room because I never did that. As I fumble out, my body slowly begins to float in the air. The place is already filled with wavering water. Trying to control my body, I reach for the door of the director's office. I have to get out at once. At this rate, I pull myself together in a safe place. My fingertip somehow touches the door. I grab the doorknob and I move it. The one way in and it won't budge. Perfect. I cough up the remaining oxygen in my lungs in shock when the door refuses to open. My body is nonchalantly overcome with the sensation of floating. Just like that, I lose consciousness. That's it. Just die. Oh, this is no longer being of this world. I become aware of something strange. Then my soul is pulled into a larger container. Deep red emotions. It isn't just me, but numerous souls dominated by malice. Now I no longer have my original form, instead becoming nothing more than one part of a whole molding into a colony. It's all over now. The me that was me is finished. So you just feel the fire of hatred when you die. Amongst the gears one. Getting closer to the end of the game anyway. See if it makes a difference, anything like playing through again. Because, I don't know. It's hard to find stuff on this game. And I don't really want to watch other playthroughs because I've, played through it myself. Don't really watch. So, stick around, skip all that. happen when I do that. Almost subconsciously, I reach for the top of the desk. My fingertips brush the wood frame of the picture and struggle against the water-resistant floor down. I've seen these pictures before. I have. I let go of the picture frame, steadily floating without trying to gain control of my body and reach into my pocket. Relying on tactile feedback from my fingers, I search my pocket. This is it. What I pull out is a keychain. The starfish attached, stuck to the back is a sticker picture of the man and the little girl. Director, if you can hear me from somewhere, watch this. Bubble as big as my mouth leaps out. The red bubble rises up through the interval between the air and the water. Cover my nose and my mouth with my left hand and place the keychain higher up. I think this is the same. Yeah, it's all the same. So maybe you can't die there. And I already did return to him in his side. So I have that ending. So skip. Say pretty. Skip. I already did this. Take the hand. It's the sister. Pull me back. Skip. And just say have no doubts because I don't want her to stay and die because I already got that end too. It all seems the same. Maybe I have to play through it, and each time I get part of the beginning story or something from someone. I don't know. Quiet rain. Pitter patter. Yeah, I already got that too. That's where Himeno takes the rose. I'll try start, see if anything's different. Tonight's concert's taking place. No, it's all the same. Okay. Well, I guess that's it. I don't know. Because you see no data. I am missing some bad endings, but I don't know. I don't think that would affect the true end thing. I don't understand how I get these, because I don't know. Maybe I'll try to look into the game more and see if I can get the other ends, because there looks like there's 3 of them. Because we still don't know what happens to Hiroshi-san. Like, if he just stays there and dies, or if he comes back, or what. But anyway, I guess I'm gonna end my stream. I streamed for a pretty long time. I'll try to stream tomorrow maybe. I don't know if it'll be during the day or later at night, but I'll try anyway. Maybe test out another just random game that I found on Steam. Kind of like the one I did before this. Can't remember what the game was called. Something. Train station one.